Hello, welcome along, Nigel with your Nigel's Model Bench, and here we are now with part 13, pack 13 of this beautiful 1/8 scale Ferrari 330p4 from DeAgostini. If you want to get yourself one, go and have a look in the description below the video. There's a link. If you use that link, then it will take you to where you need to go and see if you want to get yourself one. I know a few of you, having seen me build the first few parts of this, a few of you have told me you've gone and subscribed, and I think you'll be very pleased. It is turning into one beautiful model. You can see here there's one side of the engine, and you can see it's absolutely gorgeous. It really is lovely. So very nice indeed. Okay, so going into the magazine as we always do. 1963 Ferrari Triumphs, even in the UK. So there's a 250 GTO, beautiful car. Nick Mason's got one of those. There's another couple there, absolutely gorgeous. I love them. And here we have Pininfarina presented its Dino 206 GT prototype at the 48th Turin Motor Show. We looked at this in part 12, didn't we? So there's the two others, a little 2-litre V6. So there we go. Beautiful little car, and there's the little engine, and the 246 version, like the 2.4 version, ended up in the Lancia Stratos, as you know, which I'm building at the moment at 12 scale. So here we have the parts. So here we have a load of parts here for pack 13. So we'll get this bag open, get those screws out. So we've got a bag of tubing, we've got a spring, some screws, and then here we've got a boatload of parts on sprues. So we're going to have some cutting to do, so I'm going to get my god hands out. Come here, god hands. Right, so loads of parts there. We've also got loads of parts left from previous builds and previous magazines, so we need to be careful. What we need to do is look, when you see part numbers with a different number, you see now through the cable guide 12E. Okay, 12E means it comes from pack 12, so if you're not sure what 12E is, go and have a look back at pack 12. ABM screws are 7 by 6.6, I think that's 1.7 by 6 millimeters. So we've got some ABM screws there. So coming into here, we are going to take the vinyl hose, which I think came with pack 11. This came with. So we've got the vinyl hose there. So I wish they wouldn't tie it up like this because it makes it all kinky. Not kinky. I don't mean kinky as in oh kinky. I mean it puts lots of kinks in the line. Okay, that is one length. I thought it was 2 lengths. All right, so we've got to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lengths at 100 millimeters long. So we're going to grab a rule here, which is nice and clear to see. So we can come along there, put the tubing at 100, cut it off. Whoops, drop it on the floor, and then let's put the rest of it up on the bench so it doesn't keep falling on the floor. Go over there, right. Then we've got another one here. So put the end at 100. It doesn't need to be absolutely precise to the nearest 0.5 millimeter. It just needs to be somewhere handy. Okay, you may even want to adjust the lengths to get them to look better when they're on the spark plugs. 3. 4. Try and keep the ends as square as you can. And finally, number 5. There we go. Right, so this, the rest of it we're going to be used later. So, let's retrieve the left cylinder head 11A. Attach one end of the first 100mm piece to the connector 12A on the distributor as shown. Pass it through the cable guide and attach the other end to the spark plug nearest the distributor, photo B. So this one is going to go onto this peg here. Not that it really matters. It's not a working model if you're really fussed about the accuracy and everything. I'm going to put the light on because I can't see what I'm doing. We have the light off for the magazine in case you're wondering, and then we put the light on for the build. Okay, so that's going on there, and then that's going to pass through there. Okay, so it's going through the top and out the underside, and then it's going to go onto the spark plug nearest the distributor. Okay, just like so. So that's pressed on just like that. Okay, now if we turn over the page, it will give us a scheme of what we're going to be doing. So the first 5, all right, so we're going to go round anti-clockwise. So we're going to put this one in here. So they're not worried about firing order either, you know, it's not for accuracy. So that's going to go through there, up round the top, and then onto spark plug number 2. Which is easier said than done. I'm going to grab my tweezers. There we go, that's the way to do it. Just push it on like that. Alright, and then I'm going to repeat that for these next 3, and then I'll come back and do the rest. Okay, so next we've got to cut a piece at 135mm. Okay, so this rule is not that easy to see after you get past a certain length. So 135mm, and this one is going to go on to connector 6, which it looks like I've already used. So I'm guessing that this one here, none of this really matters. I'm just doing it so it's the same as the book, so that what you see is the same as the book. But there we go, that's right. Yeah, connector 6. So I obviously started 1 too far round. So connector 6, and then that's going to go down through to the 12th spark plug. So this is going to go onto through here, out the bottom. Okay, and then it's going to go on to the 12th spark plug. So they're obviously building it in like a bit of what looks like a proper firing order. Okay, so there we go, and then we're going to cut 3 pieces at 130mm long. Froggy throat again, as per usual. God, does my neck in. Does my neck in, does my head in, I should say. And yeah, I don't seem to get it when I'm out in the garage. Not funny, it's only when I'm sat down here. Go. Right, so there's 3 of those at 130. So used to attach the 7th connector to the 11th spark plug, the 8th connector to the 10th spark plug, and the 9th connector to the 9th spark plug. Okay, so 7 to 11 at the American drugstore. Okay, so that's going to come down there, and then this is going to go on to number 11. Just like so. And then this one is going to go to number 10. So that one's going on there like so. Through the gate, underneath, up and around, and on to number 10. Come here. Oh. There we go. And then finally, this one's going to go onto here. We've only got a couple left now. So that one's going to go onto there, down through, up and around, underneath the others, and then onto that spark plug there. Okay, you can see a pattern building up here. To ensure you connect the connectors to the spark plugs in the correct order, refer to the table on the next page. It doesn't really matter, guys. The only thing that matters is the length, really. So we're going to cut 125mm piece. So 125. Cut that off there. 10th connector to the 8th spark plug. So here's the 10th. Go on through the hole, just like that. Go on, get through there. It's starting to get a bit packed up now, this hole. Bring that down, up underneath the others, just like so, and onto the 8th spark plug. This is like watching paint dry, isn't it, guys? Sorry. There we go, just like that. Okay. And then over the page, oh, we've got another 2. I'll do these 2. In fact, no, I'm going to call it a day there. How far are we? We're only a few minutes in. We'll do pack 14 as well. I'll be back in a second with pack 14. All right, there we are. There's all 12 leads in there. If you're wondering why there's 12, that's because they're a twin spark. So they can either have double the reliability because they've got two rotor arms or 2 sections to the rotor arm, or twin spark makes it more efficient. Okay. There's 2 different types of twin spark. You can have 2 spark plugs sparking at the same time in the cylinder. You can also have sparking where they also spark on the dead stroke. So you've got suck, squeeze, bang, blow. So you've got intake, compress, bang, and then blow. Okay, so pull, intake, come up, bang, that gives you a power stroke, which is down, and the next one up, the exhaust valve opens, it's blow it out. So you can get a bang on the on both strokes. Okay, and that's how a lot of cheaper ECUs work. They just fire every time it's 5 degrees before top dead center or whatever, whether it's on the power stroke or not. So and that's sometimes what twin spark means. Okay, so that's all that done. All right, so now we're going to have a look at pack 14. So we'll turn the light off as we always do for the magazines. As you can see, we've got all these parts left from 13, so we're just building up more and more parts that we don't use. So pack 14, here we go then. Maranello concessionaires Ferrari in the UK, with the legendary Colonel Ronnie Hoare at the helm. The team, considered the British branch of Ferrari, won numerous victories, among it most loyal drivers as F1 World Champion Graham Hill. Oh yes, GT4 Daytona, beautiful. Some say the Rover SD1 was modelled on that. It's a beautiful car. There's some more beautiful cars. There's a Daytona there, look. Very, very nice. Beautiful. You can see the Rover SD1 in there, can't you? Just look at the front end. Very, very nice indeed. Right, so intake system and tank support. It's interesting. I don't think we'll be using any of this yet. We've got some screws as well, so it's a plastic screw. So take one of the injectors, 13C. So we're going back to 13. Now I'm going to put the light on. So we're going back to 13. Okay, I'm going to put these parts here, and we are going to take. Here we go. Right. We are going to take one of the injectors from the previous issue and insert it into one of the manifolds, photos B and C. Okay, so this is an injector coming off the sprue, just like so, and then insert it into one of the manifolds, 13B. So when we look back here at 13, where we've got the parts list, one of the manifolds is different. All right. That's L, L, L. Okay, if you look on here, I don't know if you can see this in the camera. On here there's an L, 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 and this one is an L1. So that one must be the 13B. Okay. I don't think it mentions it that L1 is a 13B. But the reason it's like that, it's I was thinking it might have the end on an angle, because if you remember one end of the manifold, there we go, you can see that is on a slight angle because one end of the intake is tapered in. So this one's going to go in here, so we've got a big D-shaped pin on there, and that's going to go into there just like so. Okay, so that's a nice fit. So we can fit this. Okay, we've got to fit the other 5 now, so we're going to put that one separate over there on its own. So we'll get these out. Okay, and then we'll remove these other 5 so they can come off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That sprue can go in the bin, and then we can fit these with their big D-shaped pins into these intake manifolds like that. Okay, lovely jubbly. Just like that. Just like that. Easy, innit? There we go. Right, so that's those in there. Retrieve the left cylinder head from issue 13 and fit manifold 13B between spark plugs 11 and 12. Position it as shown. So we've got this one here, so we've got 11 and 12 at the end. So there's our 13B. So this is going to go in like this with the injector on the same side as the pulley. Okay, so that's going to go in like that. That's a nice snug fit. Okay, and that's going to, then the rest of them we're going to fit in between. Now what I'm doing here, I'm having 2 leads per 2 HT leads, ignition leads, whatever you want to call them, ignition wires. I'm having 2 of those per manifold. So we'll put, as you can see, we'll put this between these 2. So we'll have 2 there, and then we'll have 2 there. Just push these in. They're a very snug fit, these are. Okay, so we've got 2 there coming out. In fact, I'm going to have that one on that side. So I've just broken my 2 per side rule. And then that one will go in there, like that. And then that one can split these. That one's really tight. Go on, in you go. Right. Okay. Okay, so that's gone in there like that. You can see that end one is standing up at a different angle to the others, but that's okay. You can see now that end one, it's got the D's, you can see these D's are all straight and that one's slightly canted in. It's because it makes the end trumpet turn in like that one. Okay, you can see that one slightly turned in. Right, so we've done all that, take the throttle pump support 13G. Okay, so 13G, yeah, we're going to repeat all this again now. So we're going to put this, going to use tweezers, and we're going to slot that in there, just like we did in pack 11, was it, or 12? 11, I think it was. Alright, so that's gone in there like that. And then we are going to take the lever 13H, so that's this one. Insert the bolt on the lever into the hole in the throttle pump support as shown. So that is going to go like that. We've got a D-shaped end on there. Well, it's not a D-shaped end, it's like a key. So that's going to push in there nice and tightly. Alright, and then we've got, place the articulated base 13E. So remember, we're doing this one again. And then we've got this little piece here and joint 13F. So that's going to go like that. Okay, and this is going to go, that end there is going to go into the end there. Alright, it's just going to slot into there like that, and you can see in the drawing here it's all square, so it's just, that's all level. And then we'll come over the page and, oh okay, I haven't even opened pack 14, have I? Because we haven't started 14 yet. So, yes we have. Sorry, this is pack 14, I'm getting myself confused here. Right, so, here's pack 14. What we normally do with the after the magazine is we open the parts, don't we? Sorry guys, I messed up there. There's also some screws in here. So, we've now got to grab the engine and take the left side of the engine block assembled in issue 5 and place it next to the left cylinder head, then take 2 ABM screws, press the left cylinder head into the engine block and secure it with 2 ABM screws in the holes. So this is our left hand cylinder head. So we've got 2 screws going into here. So I'll tap these threads. Okay, we'll put those bits to one side. Alright, so what we're going to do now is go and grab the engine, which is behind me just here. So I'm not going to bother turning the camera off. So we've got this here, and what we're going to do is we're going to put this cylinder head onto here. Okay, and then we're going to get we'll get our screws out first actually. We're going to get 2 ABM screws, just 2 please, thank you. Load the screwdriver up so it's ready to go, armed and ready. So we can just pop that on there and then pop a screw in underneath. Don't tighten it up, remember I did this on the last one. We'll pop that one in there, and now we've got them both in, we can tighten them up. Okay, there we go. So that's that. So that's what that's shown us there. It's a bit of a weird distraction, isn't it? Now we're going to go back to here, so we're going to go to pack 14 and we're going to take this intake base again. Remember we did this in pack 12, was it? Alright, and again we're going to use LP screws, so we want 2 of these. So we'll get 2 of these screws out, try and keep one in there. I keep them in the bags guys so I know what they are, and then you can see I've got a collection here of all the screws and I know what they are. Right, it'll be great when we get that box. So this is going, that's showing that way up. That is being shown that way up. So that's going to slot onto there like that. Okay, so that pin is going to go into that hole there. There we go. And then that pin's going to go into that hole there. And then we are going to take, I'm not sure if this screwdriver is too big, it is for those. Take my little Tamiya screwdriver and put a screw into there to hold this together. And then we'll put a screw into there to hold this together. Very well designed. Okay, and then we are going to take this little gubbin here. That is going that way up like that, and that is going to push down onto there like so. And that is it. So once again, we've got parts left over. So now we've got parts here from 9. I think that's 9. We've got parts here from 14. We've got hosing. We've got a spring. We've got some screw. Oh, the screws have all been used up. So we've got some hosing and a spring that we've got to keep for the next one. I'll see you all next time. That's it now for this delivery. So it won't be another few weeks now until we get another one. But believe me, this thing is looking absolutely... I'll tell you what, we'll do a little cheat. We'll just pop this together and see what it's going to look like, shall we? Look at that. Isn't that lovely? Great big V12 Ferrari engine. Beautiful. Right. Let's take that off of there. Okay, so all coming together lovely. Right, I will see you all soon for pack 15. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.